Hello, my dear students. Welcome to Business Studies classes for 12th standard. We are doing chapter number 9, that is financial management. Today, we are going to start our lecture number 4, that is fixed and working capital, and we will talk about the factors which are affecting the requirement of fixed capital and working capital. So, let's start the video and complete this chapter with your Jerry sir. Students, we have covered capital structure meaning and the concept of capital structure in our previous video, and today we're going to cover factors determining the capital structure. Now let me tell you one thing, if you have not seen the previous video, so I request you that first go to the previous video and watch that video properly, because without understanding the concept of capital structure you can't understand the factors determining the capital structure. Okay, so let's start our video. What are the factors which determine or affect the capital structure? So as we have learned in our previous video that capital structure is a combination of equity and debt. Okay, so let's talk about the factors which influence the decision of capital structure. So first one is what? Cash flow position, and then interest coverage ratio ICR, then DSCR, debt service coverage ratio, return on investment, cost of debt, tax rate, cost of equity, flotation cost, risk consideration, flexibility, control, regulatory framework, stock market conditions, and capital structure of other companies. So there are total 14 factors are there. How many? 14 factors are there. So in order to make easy for you, I will teach you only 6 factors, because the long questions which came in exam, it is also come off 6 marks. So if you write 6 factors, that is enough for you. Okay, for short 2 or for 3 or 4 marks, you can write 4 factors. Let's talk about the 4 factors which determine the capital structure. Okay, so we'll talk about these factors. So first one is what? Cash flow position. Actually, the decision related to the composition of capital structure also depends upon the ability of the business, that how much cash they are generating. Okay, if the cash flow position of the company is strong, remember my words, I am saying that if the cash flow position of the company is strong, so the company should pay attention on debt. They should take more debt. Okay, and if the cash flow position is not strong, it means there is a lack of cash flow in the company, then they should go for equity. Okay, so you have seen that how the cash flow affect the capital structure. They should take more debt in the case when the cash flow is strong. In the lack of cash, they should go for equity. Then come about ICR. Now this concept you have to understand properly. ICR stands for interest coverage ratio. What is the formula for this? ICR equals to EBIT upon interest. Now EBIT I have explained you last time in the previous video only, that that is earning before interest and tax. Before paying interest and tax, how much earning came, that is count as a EBIT. Now ICR means how much time is our earning is more than the interest. That thing we have to count under the ICR. Now see, example, suppose that our EBIT, earning before interest and tax, is 8 lakh, and our interest on debt which you have to pay is how much? 1 lakh. So if we cut this one from 0, we can cut zeros. So 1 8 is 8, so it comes how much? 8 times. It shows that our earning in compared to interest which we have to pay, our earning in compared to interest which we have to pay is how much? 8 times more than the interest. So it is good condition for us that how much we are earning, it is 8 times the payment. It is the 8 times the payment. So we are earning a good profit. So in the case of high ICR, we should go for debt. But in the case of low ICR stands for when there is a 3 lakh or 2 lakh and our interest rate is 1 lakh, so it is coming 2 or 1.5 or 1 coming 1 time. So that is called low ICR. In that case, we have to go for equity shares. Okay. Then comes return on investment. Very important factor. How much return we are getting in our company. See, return on investment means how much we are earning on our investment. If we have done 2 lakh investment and we are earning from that investment 10 lakh, so our earning is good, our return is good. Okay, that is called return on investment. See, if our return on investment is more than the what? Interest which we have to pay on debt, then it means high rate of interest. In that case, we should go for debt. But if the company is earning less rate of investment, less rate of investment in compared to interest which they have to pay to debt, then the company should go for equity share capital, okay, in their capital structure. Then comes cost of debt. Now cost of debt can arrange what borrowed fund at low rate of interest. See, if the rate of interest is low, if the rate of interest is low, 2%, 3%, 4%, it is low, okay, considerably in compared to 10%. So 10% is higher rate, but if it is less than 10%, 4%, 5%, it considered be as low rate of interest. So the cost of rate of interest is low, so in that case we should go for debt. In which case, when the rate of interest is low. But if the rate of interest is more, then we should go for equity, because if rate of interest is low, then we can earn more profit. So in that case we should go for debt, but if rate of interest is high, then we should go for equity. Okay, then come tax rate. About tax rate also we have learned in our previous video, that we have seen that if we are having more debt, then we have to pay less tax, and if we are showing what you can say that low debt, if we are not having debt, then we have to pay more tax. So in the case of tax rate will be if tax rate is high, then we should go for debt, and if the tax rate is low, then we should go for equity. Okay, then come risk consideration, that how much risk is there. See, business is full of risk, so how much risk is considered in the business, that is comes under risk consideration. It means financial risk refers to a position when a company is unable to meet its fixed financial charges such as interest, preference, dividend, payments to creditors, etc. These all are factors comes under risk consideration. So the risk is high, then we should go for equity. If the risk is low, then we should go for debt. Okay, in this way other factors are also there, like flexibility, control, market conditions. If if there is a boom period, what boom condition, then we should go for what, then we should go for tell. So when the market conditions are low or in depression period, then we should go for what, debt. Okay, then we should go for borrowed fund. But if the market conditions are very good and very high period, it means boom period, then we should go for equity shares. In this way there are many factors, but we need to learn only 6 factors which affecting or determining the capital structures. Now students, our next topic is fixed capital and working capital. So first we will talk about fixed capital. Now what is the meaning of fixed capital? Fixed capital means that how much capital of company is going to be invested in long-term assets or projects, or you can say fixed assets. That is called only what, fixed capital. Okay, and the decisions which are related to the investment in fixed assets is called capital budgeting. Now which type of investment we should do in fixed assets, like how much investment I can do in purchasing of land, purchasing and in construction of building, then purchasing of plant and machineries, then in change of technology, it means I have to opt new technology, upgrade my technology, then expenditure on advertising, campaign, research and development. These all investments comes under fixed capital investment, or you can say capital budgeting decisions. Okay, now what are the factors which affect the requirement of fixed capital? So first one is coming nature of business. See, nature of business, that which type of business we are doing. Either our company is manufacturing company, or either company is trading company. See, if our company is manufacturing company, it means we are producing goods. What we are doing, we are producing goods. Okay, producing goods, and then we are selling. Trading company means that we have purchased from A, and then suppose that we are B company. Okay, we have purchased goods from A company at rupees 100, and then we are selling to C, that customer, at rupees 300. So we are earning profit of 200 in the middle. So we are not producing goods, just we are trading from one person to another person. That is called trading company. Manufacturing company means they have to produce by themselves, then they are going to sell the products. Now see, who will need machines and plant? Manufacturing companies needs more machineries, more plants in compared to trading companies, because trading companies are directly purchasing the finished goods, but they are producing or making the good or manufacturing the good. So I hope it is clear to what is the meaning of manufacturing company and trading company. See, now the first topic, that is called nature of business. So how the nature of business affect the fixed capital? See, if you are having a manufacturing company, definitely you will pay more, you will invest more on machines. It means you are going to invest more on fixed capital in compared to trading company. Okay, then comes scale of operations. Scale means that whether your company is operating on large scale, or whether your company is operating on small scale. If you are operating on large scales, it means you need more machines, more assets. It means you're going to invest more on fixed capital. So scale of operation also affect the requirement of fixed capital. Then comes techniques of production. There are two techniques of production: either it's capital intensive, either is labor intensive. Capital intensive means we will use more machines, less labors. Labor intensive technology, we will use more labors but less machines. So in case of capital intensive technology, if we are using capital intensive technology, then we need more machines. It means we have to purchase more machine, we have to invest on machine. And if we are doing investment on machine, it means we are doing what? Fixed capital investment. So in case of capital intensive, more fixed capital investment. In case of labor intensive technology, we have to give less capital less fixed capital investment. Then comes technology upgradation. See, nowadays, as you know, that every month or after every 3 months there is an upgradation in the technology. So if you want to use latest technology, then you have to need what? Fast upgradation of your technology. In that case, you need more fixed capital in compared to those who are not opting for latest technology. Then comes growth process. The company which want to expand their business, those who are dream for higher growth plans and requirement, so definitely they will go for more production, and more production is possible through machines. Okay, because machines work faster than the labor, definitely. So in case when we need more machines, then there will be more fixed capital we need. Then comes diversification. When we want to produce different types of products, it means we want to increase the range of products required by the people. In that case, when we need more range, like you can see nowadays in mobiles, that cameras are there and batteries are there, more batteries, more camera they are giving, which are coming in DSLR cameras, and more features are coming. So more range providing you more customers. So in that case, when you need more range, you need more machines, and more machines means more fixed capital. Then comes availability of finance and leasing facility. Finance means money, how much money you needed to acquire fixed capital. And leasing facility means sometimes you get machines on rent, but in case if you are getting the machines on rent, so it is save your money, it will save your money, because the machines which are coming, they are very costly. So if you are getting on rent, so it is good for you, then you have to invest less. But in case if you are not getting machines on rent, then you have to purchase those machines, and in purchasing cost is little high than the rent cost. Therefore, you have to invest more on fixed capital. Then comes level of collaboration or joint ventures. When the two companies are joining hands, like right now Vodafone and Idea have collaborate with each other. So now they will use less machines, because when they will work as an independent entity, they have to use more machines. So less machines they will use in the case of collaboration. Then they will use, then they will take what? Less fixed capital. Then they will invest on less fixed capital. But in case of if they are working independently, then they will do what? More investment, or they will need more requirement. They need more what? Fixed capital. So these are the factors which are affecting fixed capital. Now we'll talk about working capital. So students, our next topic is working capital. Now what is working capital? Working capital means the capital which we require to operate the day-to-day expenses of the business. So there are two types of working capital. First one is gross working capital, and second one is net working capital. If we talk about gross working capital, so this refers to the investment in all the current assets such as cash, bill receivables, prepaid expenses, and etc. etc. Now you are a commerce student, so in accounts you have learned about the working capital very well. This is called gross working capital. So examples are given, you know very well also. Now if we talk about the second type of working capital, that is what? Net working capital. What is net working capital? That is the balance between current asset and current liability, which means current assets minus current liability. So what balance will come? That is called net working capital. Okay, now what are the factors which affect the working capital? So first factor which affect the working capital is what? Length of the operating cycle. Now what is the meaning of length of the operating cycle? Actually, length of operating cycle means the time period which involves in this process of production. starts from its starting point from the acquisition of raw material, and then to convert that raw material into a final products, and then to sell it. So until we will not receive the payment for sale, till that process is, it is called the length of operating cycle. So the more, if this operating cycle length will be lengthy, or you can say long, so there will be more requirement of working capital. If it is short, then we need less working capital. Next is nature of business, which we have discussed in our previous one also, fixed capital also. So where we have done about what, manufacturing company and trading company. So if it is manufacturing company, that they need more working capital. Trading company, then they need less working capital. Why? Because for manufacturing company they have to pay for what, labors also, okay, their salaries and many more thing. In trading company they are directly purchasing, then they are directly selling it, so there they need less working capital. So here they need what, in manufacturing company they need more working capital in compared to trading company. Then we talk about scale of operation. So it means large scale business, so they need to maintain more inventory, debtors, etc. So they need large working capital. Whereas if it is a small firm business, small scale, then they need less working capital. Business cycle fluctuation. If it is a boom period, it means good working capital, good what you can say, market conditions. Then they need what, more production. Then because there will be more demand. If the period of boom is there, market is in boom period. So what will happen? That there will be more demand of goods. So more demand of goods leads to what? More production, and more production leads to more working capital. But in case of depression in the market, so what, there is a need of less working capital. Okay. Then comes what, seasonal factor. It means whether the season is favor you or not, favorable season and unfavorable season. Like in summer season we need ACs. There is a more demand of AC. So in that time we need more worker, we need more production, we need more labors, and we need more working. That times we need more working capital. But in case of if we're talking about AC only, so in the winter season we don't need AC. So that time we need less working capital for this product. Then come about technology and production cycle. If we are using the latest technology, or we are using that labor intensive technology, so in that case we need what, in the case of what, labor intensive technology or technical production, then more working capital is required, because we have to pay the what, the salaries and the day-to-day what requirements of the labors. If the company is using what, machine intensive technology, then the less working capital is required. In case of machine intensive, less working capital. In case of labor intensive, we need more working capital. Okay. Credit allow. If we are allowing that our customers credit facility, so if the company is following liberal credit policy, then it will be require more working capital, because the people are not giving money, they are not dealing in cash. So we have to wait that when they will give us money. So we need, but the expenses are going to be incurred daily. So we need to cope up with those expenses. So we need more working capital. Credit availability. Like we need raw materials for making finished goods. So if our suppliers is giving us long period for credit, long period credit, so there will be less need of working capital. But if suppliers are giving us what, short term credit, then we need to have more working capital. Okay. Operating efficiency, that how our workers are efficient. If our workers are efficient, so they will not waste resources. In that way, in less time we can produce more, so we need less working capital. But if the working of the employees are not efficient, then they will waste the product, they will waste the resources. Then in the more time we are able to produce only less products. In that case we need more working capital. Availability of raw materials. If the raw materials are easily available, okay, then we can manage in less capital also. But if the raw materials are not easily available for some product, then we need to have what, more working capital. Level of competition. If the competition in the market is what, you can say that very high, okay, so what will happen? So we need what, more working capital, because we need to compete with our competitors. So we need more inventories, we need to supply goods on time, we need that more variety of goods. So that time we need more working capital. But if there is no competition in the market, we are in the condition of monopoly, then we need less working capital. Inflation means there is a rise in price of goods. So if there is an increase in the price of goods, so we need what, more working capital. Okay. Then growth prospectus. If the companies want to expand their business, then what they need? They need more working capital, because they are want to expand their business, they want growth of their business. In that case they need more working capital. Okay, so these are the points which we are studying under the factors affecting the working capital, and here also we have completed our this chapter full. Okay, at last I just want to say be safe and God bless you all.